Hello, and welcome to Rock Your Block and today's segment of 495 Metro. It's good to be back. I am your host and co-producer, Trudy Richardson. My guest today is Edward Richardson, and what an awesome story he's lived and is living. From an orphan to an amazing chess player, exchange student, an attendee of Howard University, a student of all major religions, accomplished girls and boys basketball coach, top flight business person, a licensed minister with an honorary doctorate degree in divinity. He's a loving husband and father, a grandfather with a zest for living. He has successfully coached men, women, and children. In the 42 years I've known him, this man never stops learning. His story is encouraging and heartwarming, like chicken soup for the soul. He is also my life partner, and we are life coach to each other. Ed, please say hi to our audience.
Well, hello to the audience, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. And to God be all the glory and all the honor. And it's wonderful to be here with you today.
Great. It's good. As we sat and talked about and prepared for the show, we decided that our topic for today is let's talk about your future self. And what we want to share with our audience is how you can make a real change in the next 24 hours. And this topic is important, we hope, to others as it is important to us. As you and I, we are looking at our new future self, as we have suddenly become empty nesters, and we have different goals and different places and experiences we want to be. So as a personal coach, and a personal developer, what would you say to the audience today on how they can create their future self?
Well, if you're looking to make changes in your life, the first thing that you've got to do is ask yourself, what do I want? What is it that I want? And I would encourage our audience to write that question down, because it's an easy question to write down, but it's not necessarily an easy question to answer. And it may take, a few hours, a couple of days to really figure out what you really want. Mm-hmm. But your answer to that question is going to guide you to your future self.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that and writing it down, because as you and I are looking to a new future self apart and together, the goals that we want, things that I wanted in my 20s and 30s, I'm not sure I want those same things now that I have a chance to do those, now that I no longer have the responsibility of raising a family. And once you write down what you want, what is the next step you take after that?
Well,
and why?
Okay, great question. So the act of writing down what you want, or even what you think you might want, and it's different for everybody, that's the beginning of taking action. And in order for anything to happen in your life, you have to take action, and sometimes you have to take massive action. One of the things that you can do once you determine what it is that you want to do is to come up with a few small steps that you can take toward the thing that you want to do, a couple of small steps. Talking to a woman today who was in a similar position as what we're in, but the process doesn't matter. You can be 8, you can be 80, or anywhere in between. Once you determine that you want to make a change in your life, you want to begin to take action, and it's always good to start small. So in talking to her, she was becoming an empty nester in another 3-4 years, and she said, when I was young, I wanted to do so many different things. I wanted to own my own business. I wanted to take up photography, and we were talking. And she said, photography, everything I want to do is so expensive. I said, well, wait, hold on. You're going to become an empty nester. It's really a gift, because you spent your life doing those things that were necessary, very necessary to raise your family.
I agree.
So now it's your turn. And you have an opportunity to do something that you've always wanted to do, that you delayed for good reason, and now you have an opportunity to do it.
Which is exciting.
Yeah, so, you know, what is the one thing that you could do that would be real simple to get yourself started? What kind of action could you take?
What did you tell her?
I said, well, the first thing I would do, because photography has changed a lot over the years, maybe I go to a bookstore if you can find one, and I pick up a book on photography, a magazine on photography. Or maybe I get a subscription to a magazine on photography. Or maybe I Google photography and start to familiarize myself with the different terms that are out, the different techniques that are out, the different cameras. I just kind of begin to immerse myself in the hobby, and that doesn't cost me anything. So I take that action, and then I determine how long I'm going to do that before I move to my next step, my next act toward my goal. So the first thing I do after I discover what I want is I decide to take action.
And I know as you have been my life coach and I have been your life coach.
Absolutely.
One of the things that, for me personally, I would say that I fight you on it, but I know as a weakness of mine, I have a tendency to become very lazy. And I know when you're endeavoring to start something new, you find roadblocks, and when you get those roadblocks, you say, is it really worth it? Do I really want it? And once you say, yes, I really do want it, then you need somebody that's going to help you. And can you speak on that?
Yeah, you already know. I mean, and our audience already knows. You need a team, right? You need a team. A team can be 2 or 3 people. You need a coach. You need someone who's going to hold you accountable, someone that you can trust to encourage you, not to tell you all the things that you can't do and all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. As a matter of fact, you may want to consider getting rid of the words no and I can't, and start thinking about how and what. Those kinds of questions. So, okay, we're moving forward, we're taking action.
So now we're talking about changing your mindset.
Right, changing your mindset. And one of the things that I totally recommend is that you build a little team for yourself. You get yourself an accountability partner, someone that you can trust to push you and encourage you. Okay, so you're gonna go, right, and get a photography subscription, let's say. You're gonna get a photography, we're just using that as an example. And your accountability partner says, okay, I'm with you, I'm behind you, let's do this. You let me know when you got it, okay? How long is it gonna take you to get the subscription? And you say, well, I'll have that this evening, I'll have it tomorrow. Well, the accountability partner is gonna pick up the phone and call you tomorrow to see if you've done it. And if you haven't done it, they're gonna say, why haven't you done it? And you can't give an excuse. You can't say, well, I didn't have time. No, I don't know if I really wanted. Wait, hold on. You told me this is what you wanted to do, all right?
Absolutely.
You were talking about the obstacles. And really the accountability partner is your friend. Your enemies are things like laziness, self-doubt, fear of success, procrastination. All of those become the FBI 10 most wanted list of things that you want to avoid, get rid of, because you really want to do this, right? You really want to move forward with your life. You really want to grow. And so once again, this works whether you're 8 or 80 or any place in between. You're making a decision to capture your future self, right? Your future you. So you have to take action, and then you have to give yourself some sort of a time limit on the action that you're going to take. If it's small steps, that's great. All babies take small steps at first, but the goal is to walk, right? So once you've taken enough steps to walk, then you can think about the next thing, which is running. Okay, but you gotta have someone that's going to. All babies have someone that holds them up, that lets them take, like the training wheels, helps them to take those steps.
And if you happen to be living with your accountability partner like I am, who would say, get your laptop out, go to Google, order the subscription now.
Right.
That'll put you one step closer to your goal.
Right.
And so as we have moved from finding out what you want, getting an accountability partner. The next thing that you talk about is developing a plan.
Yes.
And what is that? What kind of plan do you develop?
Well,
what do you do?
Well, there are many plans that are out there, and you just have to pick one. You know, I once heard a story about climbing Mount Everest, which is still on my bucket list. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that. That's something that I would like to do, not necessarily something that I would want to do.
That's a by yourself goal.
Yeah, that's a bucket list point. I mean, after I started reading about all the people that are frozen up on Mount Everest, they can't bring them down. But it's something that that I've thought about. But the point is, someone once said, to get to the top of the mountain, there's so many ways to get to the summit, right? To go up. Mm-hmm. The only person that's going crazy is the person that's running around the bottom of the mountain trying to figure out how to go up there. So you just pick a way and you go. And it's the same thing with your plan. There are many plans out there. Mm-hmm. The plan that I choose that works for me is something called a SMART plan. I didn't invent it. You can look it up online. It's very easy to follow. But SMART is an acronym. It's letters for specific. Your plan's got to be specific. It's got to be measurable. You have to be able to quantify it. It has to be actionable, okay? It has to be reasonable. You want to become a millionaire and you don't have $100 in the bank? Be reasonable. You can get to $1 million, but you got to break the goal down into small steps to allow you to get to that point. And then you got to put a time limit on it. Everything has a time limit. You're a great cook, for example. I would dare say as good of a chef as anybody that I know. But you can't bake the bread forever. You gotta, at some point, it has to come out of the oven, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you think? I mean, is that a plan that you think would work for you? A SMART plan? A SMART
plan, yes. Specific. I know there's a specific goal that I'm thinking of that I reached, and that was being a food manufacturer. And that plan, the first thing I did was research. And as I researched and talked to people, they gave me more things to research. So the plan was specific. And once I found out what I needed to do, I was able to make it measurable and accountable. And then I put a time limit on it, on when I was going to finish it. Did I run into obstacles? Did I run into, oh my God, one more thing I have to do? Did I run into, I don't know whether I want to do this? Did I run into, oh my God, they're asking me to write almost a 20-page synopsis of how I'm going to run this business. Am I capable of doing that? Do I want to do that? And yes, there were times when I felt down and I felt like I didn't want to do it, but I had you encouraging me, having someone there encouraging to tell you, stick with the plan, stick with the plan. You'll see it through. Even if you do a half an hour, 5 minutes. I know you have something that you do personally when you're trying to reach a goal, is even if you only do it for 5 minutes.
Right.
And usually once you get into 5 minutes, it stretches out to maybe 20 minutes.
Right.
So the SMART plan works. And I say that once you find out what you want, you have to sell yourself on it. You have to believe that you can get from point A to point B to point C until that thing that you want is no more a dream, it's a reality.
Can I jump in here, because I want the audience to hear this. You actually brought up something that is near and dear to my heart. Say what you want. I believe that we're all stricken with some sort of weird mental virus, and I call it the laziness virus. And it strikes us every time we set out to do something that you feel that's worthwhile. So the way that I have, say, tricked my brain into getting on point and doing things, in a regular way, is that I simply believe that I have 5 minutes a day that I can do something toward my goal, take some kind of action toward my goal. There are many of you, and I'm included in this. We look at a goal and we see this big thing that we want to do, and it overwhelms us. So how do we approach it? How do we approach it regularly, every day? Well, just make a 5-minute commitment to yourself I don't care, I got 5 minutes somewhere along the day where I'm just going to do this one thing. And to your point, what happens is you'll find out if you make that commitment, and that commitment, you're making it to yourself. Your accountability partner is saying, did you get your 5 minutes in today? Your coach is talking about, well, this week we said we were going to do this. How far along? You're measuring your progress. That 5 minutes will turn into more time. And there's no better feeling than accomplishing something that you thought you couldn't do, especially when there are obstacles. Obstacles are a sure sign that life is testing you, that life wants you to get this thing done, but it's saying, do you really want it? How about this? We all learn from school and tests, right? Every time you are in school, no matter what grade level, college, wherever you are, there's always a test, right?
Always.
And before you can graduate from that class or move on from that class, you have to pass the test. Well, that's an example of what life does to us.
Absolutely.
Some might say that know me, I have a very dear friend that says, without the test, there's no testimony. You know?
Absolutely.
So don't let
Fight against it.
Yeah, don't let the laziness get you down. Just say, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm tired, I'm gonna do it tired. I'm scared, I'm gonna do it scared. I don't think I have I'm gonna do it whether I have the money or not. Just say, this is what I want. The other thing you want to do is write it down, keep your goal in front of you, and stay away from people that are going to discourage you. That's the biggest thing.
That's a big hindrance.
Yes, just stay away. Don't let people dissuade you. One thing that you and I have talked together about, suppose you don't have somebody that you can trust that's going to encourage you. What does one do at that point? Well, fortunately, we live at a time when we have the Google machine.
Yes.
And you can take whatever subject that you're interested in, whatever thing that you want to do, and you can find somebody that's doing it.
You can find groups.
Exactly. So at that point, what you want to do is do your research, see 2 or 3 people that have done what you want to do, and if they've been successful and you can provide proof to yourself that they've been successful, you've got a built-in model that you can follow to gain your success. It's almost like when we put things together on Christmas when, we had young kids. And the first thing that you want to do is you want to see the completed picture. I'm going to put together a bicycle, right? I want to see a model of that thing. These instructions don't make any sense. Well, if you find someone who's done what you've done, success leaves clues, and you can see the end result, and then you can go back to their beginning and look at what they've gone through, and that can become your mentor, that can become your accountability, that can become the thing that you want to model after to accomplish what you want to do and aid you in becoming your future self.
And I want to say to our audience, no matter what you want to do, don't be discouraged. There's always a way. You may not can figure it out, but there is always a way to get something done. If it doesn't work that way, scratch it off the list, sit back, think, find another way. You'll find once you start opening up your mind to possibilities, opportunities come to you so that you can go ahead and continue on your path. And one thing that we're coming close to our time, but one of the things that I have watched you do, and what I'll tell our audience is, Ed and I have been married for 42 years, and when I met him, he was playing a guitar. And I disturbed his practice, and he was kind of rude, and that was the only, you see where it landed. But the point I'm making is he's always had a love for music. Well, we got married, we had kids, stuff took over, and that became put on the back burner, didn't know whether he'd ever be able to revisit it. Well, you had a dream, and your dream was to play in a band. Your dream was to become the best bass player that you could become. So tell the audience how you are right now living your dream that you've had, I don't know, you have to tell them how many years you've had it.
Well, first of all, you got to practice what you preach, right? So yeah, I've always wanted to play, and when I met you, I was playing. And just for those of you, sometimes rudeness can be sexy. No, don't take that. Anyway, it worked for us, right?
Yes.
It worked for us. But I have to thank so many people. First of all, I have to thank my oldest daughter, who actually brought home a bass that was going to be thrown away. The friend that gave her the bass, I don't want to call any names, but very dear friend of mine, and he's actually with us because he had a similar dream, and he plays in our band, and I love him dearly. Building a team, getting that bass, fixing that bass up after not having played for 20 plus years led me into a situation where a pretty well-known band in this area was playing, and I will say to my friend Gerald, he gave me an opportunity to play in his band, and he knows who he is, and I'm really grateful for that, because that was a spark. So he became a kind of mentor for me. My daughter and my friend, they became sort of accountability partners, and then once I started playing and performing, that became like a timeline for me. So I can't leave out the fact that you supported me, because here I am at this stage in my life, and I'm learning music. Everybody tells you, okay, you got to be 8, 9 years old. Get started early, and then you'll become great. Well, I'm not ever going to be Marcus or 9. I'm never going to be Marcus Miller or Stanley Clark or some of these guys that I really look up to. James Jamerson and some of these guys.
My belief in you, who knows?
Yeah, well, you don't. But they did it their way, and now I have an opportunity to do it my way, and I just keep playing, and I'm thankful for all the members of our Cruise Control band. You guys know who you are. I think of Kevin, and I think of Will, and I think of Percy and Brandon and Khalil. I think of Larry. I think of all these guys. My daughter Liani. I think of the people that we work with, Unique Sound, Eric Brown and his group. They help us out, and then all of the venues that we've played in, the venue owners that have given us an opportunity, and most importantly, I think the people that believe in us, the people that come out to see us, our fans, our friends, our family members. They're so important, but it does take a team of people. And the more you do what it is that you feel like you really want to do, I think the more success you have at it, and it's just a lot of fun. But most of all, I thank you for supporting me, because you could have said, "You're too old for that. Stop playing."
My theory is you're never too old to do anything. But as I watch you as the band leader, and one of the things that goes with our show today is, as a life coach, I watch you on a weekly basis, monthly basis. I watch you reach out to these guys that you play with, and you coach them, and I think you make them better players. I think you make them better band members. I think you put them in a place where they believe that they can develop their skills stronger. So why do you do that?
Because I see in each and every member of our band something that is special. I see we have a beautiful keyboard player, Percy. He's very skilled, very talented. I see in our drummer, Brandon, very skilled, very talented. Khalil, our guitarist. Will, our percussionist. Kevin, lead vocals. My daughter, and it's really her band. And Larry, who's wonderful with the accents and things that he does. And I see how it all comes together, and I see a little bit of myself in each and every one of them, and I see within them things that I can learn. They actually, encourage me when they come out for rehearsal, when we perform. And then I see you and people like Mr. Clark and Mr. Clark Sr. and all the people that are around the band who encourage us and help us out, and it's like a family. So Cruise Control is like a family. But most important, I can't give you enough credit, because you've been my accountability partner. And whenever I've had some doubts, you're the fire It stokes everything back up, and I really appreciate that.
Well, I think we encourage each other. There's been a lot of things that I have going on that you've encouraged me. I mean, I'm still, my dream of becoming a published author, you still encourage me to publish my materials, even though I have a lot of doubt and I'm self-critical of myself, but each day I'm getting, I guess, closer and closer to wanting to share what I have to say and share with the world.
So could I say something real quick? I know our time is coming down. I've said a lot, but I do want to speak directly to the audience. Don't give up on your dreams, and dream big, and find someone that's going to encourage you, that's going to help you on the path of where you want to go. The things that we talked about are available to anyone and everyone. I just want to say that and tell you that thank you for tuning in and hearing what we have to say.
Well, I thank you for joining me today and for us having an opportunity to share with people that you don't have to stay where you are. There's always a second chance, third chance, fourth chance, fifth chance.
Absolutely.
But you have to make your chance. You have to make your way. You have to believe in yourself. You have to find people who are like-minded. You have to change your mindset. So I say, never give up. Always dream big. Thank you for watching today's segment of 495 Metro. See you soon.